It is the Flow Friday Night Sports Show. Let's talk Eyre Peninsula netball now. Finals has arrived in Great Flinders, and Eastern Eyre well and truly into their finals now. So let's go to the Queen of EP Netball, who is on the line with us, Jo Franklin. How are you?
I'm doing really well, Jason. You?
Going well, thank you. Tell you what, we've got quite a bit to get through. We've had medal counts over the weekend, finals in all competitions. It's exciting times.
It certainly is. It certainly is, and it is all happening. Happening.
We're going to start with Great Flinders. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I was going to say, and not in all that good of conditions either, really, last day for the girls. But anyway, however, Great Flinders did. They played at Cummins, and they did get all their games on the road, and got some interesting results. So in their E grade, Ramblers defeated Lock 32-19, which was expected. The Ramblers girls have beaten them all year, and whilst they probably might not go any further, they certainly were expecting to win that game. And the kids are pretty happy on Monday morning with that effort. In the D grade, United Atlanta 42 defeated Cougars 34. Again, an expected result there. They have done that all season. B Resi's Lock 42 defeated United Atlanta 28. Again, expected. This was an interesting one, though. In the B grade, Eyre United 35 ended up getting up and beating Tumby Bay 27, which was a little bit of an upset, really, considering the results and who had beaten who and all the other matches throughout the season. So well done to Eyre United to still have somebody involved. Resi's Ellison District 40 only just got over the line against Ramblers. We did say never count them out in finals.
Yes.
Ellison District got over the line 40-36. Ramblers pretty happy with their effort there. And in the A grade, Ramblers actually ran away with it fairly comfortably in the end, Jace. Ramblers 45 defeated Tumby Bay 36. It was a pretty good win. Tumby, they just got off to a really slow start. They just did not settle well. And Ramblers, as you would know, as we all know in finals, they just settled in really nicely very early, took that early lead, and they just left Tumby Bay chasing them for the rest of the game. Tumby made lots of changes throughout the game to try and get the edge, but unfortunately they just weren't able to do that. Ramblers felt their Achilles and Gale only felt the need to make one change, and that was at quarter time when they swapped Lily Nettle from centre to wing attack, with Ava Pedler going from wing attack to centre. And those two young girls really held their nerve, and they were able to limit their errors this week, which their coach was very happy with. And look, Keely Mason, we all know what a player she is in finals. She just really stood up in the goals, as did Abby Lee Burrows in goalkeeper for Ramblers. So they're two older girls were able to hold it together for them, and Abby Burrows was awarded the best player for Ramblers from that game. And Summer Cave, she worked so hard all game in defence, particularly at goalkeeper for Tumby, to get their best player. But look, a well fought out, tough game, and Ramblers advance on.
They do. It was all really set up in the second quarter with I think it was a 16-9 run in that second quarter, which saw them lead, I think, by 8 at half time. So they've ended up winning the game by 9 goals. So really it was that second quarter that blew it open.
Yeah, it certainly was. And interestingly there was that Tumby had brought on Sarah Laurie in that quarter, and she was shooting beautifully when she got the ball. But, Ramblers were just able to turn that ball over through the centre court and, really put their foot down in that quarter. And like you said, were able to keep that lead for the rest of the game.
All right. Before we move on to who's playing who this week, bearing in mind that was the first semi-finals at Cummins, so winners through to the preliminary final, losers season is over. We then had on Sunday the junior medal counts for Great Flinders netball. So for those in the E and D grades, the awards were handed out.
Yeah, they were, and interestingly, they live streamed it, which is really, really interesting. And everybody seemed really, really happy with that. Amy Warner was right on to that and did it really, really well. So in the E grade, young Adler Larwood from Tumby Bay was the winner there, and it was a draw for the runner-up with Miley Agars from Ellison District and Sophie Morton from Lock. So in the D grade, which is their under 15s or 15 unders, Lauren Dobbins from Cougars was the winner there, and the runner-up was Lily Tiller from Lock. So congratulations to those girls. Well done.
Absolutely. And the senior medal count Is that being held this weekend? Is that right?
No, it's actually not. It's actually being done the next weekend after the prelim fight.
Okay,
out at Kapini.
Right, we'll talk more about that then next week. Let's move on to who's playing who this week. So we've got the second semi-finals being played at Ungara. Is that right?
Yes, it is being played out at Ungara, and it's supposed to be a little bit wet again, I think, Chase, so that could be quite interesting. But in the E grade at 10:30, United Jelena are playing Ellison Districts, and certainly United Jelena have had the wood there for most of the season, so I would think that they probably would run away with it there, although Ellison Districts are certainly the big improvers in that grade. In the D grade at 12 o'clock, we have Tumby Bay taking on Ellison Districts, and Tumby Bay full of Curtises and Larwood girls, I'm sure, all of whom were the medal winners for Tumby Bay, I think, over the weekend. So I would think that Tumby will be pretty determined to make sure that they still have some teams playing grand final day and will be pretty determined to win, and I think they probably will in that grade. B Resi's at 1:30. Ellison Districts take on Tumby Bay. Ellison Districts have had the wood all season, so if you're going with favourites, I guess we'd be going with them there. The B grade at 3 o'clock, Cougars undefeated will be taking on Ellison Districts. Now, they actually haven't played them for quite a long time, so they're very nervous about this game, especially going in undefeated, and I would think that they will be too strong. I think they a cohort of about 12 players there. They put 6 on, take 6 off, and put 6 on at some stages. So they're huge numbers in that grade for Cougars. But yeah, they're being undefeated and having a daughter-in-law playing in that grade, I think I will be going with Cougars. Resi's at 1:30. Cougars take on the Lock Roos. Now, this could be very interesting, Chase. The Cougars girls have had the wood over Lock. However, Lock are the improvers in this grade to finish second. And I'm not going to be game enough to go against Lock Roos because Kiara Williams, who is one of the joint coaches there, actually takes our Pilates sessions, and I'm very worried what she might have to make us do if I tip against her. So I actually think that Cougars probably on paper have got the better looking side, but I think that this could be very interesting, and Lock might just give them a run for their money. A grade, 3 o'clock. This is going to be big. Cougars taking on Ellison Districts, and both teams, their coaches inform me, are at full strength. Neither of them really wanting to give a lot away, Jace, I can tell you.
I'm surprised by that, yeah.
However, I have done some investigating, and they both are at full strength. So Cougars, Hannah Green and Ella Wedd have just been amazing in goals all year for Cougars, and they will be matching up against Nikki Schubert and Kelsey Hull. So this will be a really great contest, and there will be no place for any faint-hearted in that circle, I can tell you. It will be on for young and old in there, and I think that will be a very interesting to see just what does happen there, and how umpires umpire will be really interesting as well. The centre court, Charlie Manane, Lorena Heberman, Zoe Phelps will be playing against her old team in the centre court for Ellison Districts with Morgan McDonald, Jet Green and Lily Matner. So as you can tell, just those names, a lot of experience in there and a lot of talent. I do think, and I have said it all year, that it is Cougar Centre Court that are really getting them over the line every week, and I think that's probably going to happen again this week. The matchups at the other end with Courtney Hull and Tash Paul in goals for Ellison. They've also got the option of Kate Lowby, who they could put in there at times against the Evergreen Shiz Bascom, and then the two young ones, Molly Burns or Holly Gale. And look, both those kids have taken everything before them throughout the whole season. So all in all, this is going to be a very tight and tough at both ends and through the middle. So I can't go for a draw in a final, can you, Jace? I think Cougars just.
It's going to be a beauty. And got to point out a couple of things here. First of all, Elliston District. So first year in Great Flinders netball. They've got 5 of their 6 teams in the second semi-final. So they've had 5 of 6 finish first or second. The only team that didn't is through to the preliminary final. That's the A Reserve. So All 6 of their netball teams still in the competition. That's an incredible effort in your first year.
Absolutely, it is, and there's no question about the fact that they've relished being accepted into the Great Flinders League, and they have come in as a little bit of a powerhouse. And look, credit to them, because it's not been easy. It has not been easy for them, and they've done really well to, like you said, get all their teams through to the finals. And the interesting fact is that they're actually everybody still does have netball teams involved up until the end of tomorrow night.
Yes, yep, that's right. So good luck to everyone playing in the second semi-finals in Great Flinders Netball. All right, we need to move now to Eastern Eyre Netball. And we had, of course, results last week that were, I guess you'd call them the second semi-finals. So they're well and truly into their final series now. We've got preliminary finals coming up this weekend. But at Arno Bay, the results were varied, and there were a couple of surprises along the way.
Yeah, there were a couple. Starting with the League Twos, Kimber 14 defeated Central Eyre United 13, 1 goal, and that has been that all year. So, and it had been, I think, one had won, one and one and one the other. So
Yep.
That was really close again. In the E grade, Kimber, this was a runaway, which it has been all year. Kimber 51 defeated Central Eyre United 17. In the D grade, Central Eyre United 40 defeated Easter's Rangers 38. If you can imagine, there was a fair bit of screaming, a fair bit of yelling, and quite a few people who have got lots of grey hair after this game. But for Central Eyre United to come away with that with 2 wins was with 2-goal win was a great effort by them. Now this C3 grade, fair dinkum chase. This Rangers side is just unbelievable when you see it out on court. They runaway winners 40 defeated Kimber 21. When you have times medalists, association, Eyre Peninsula players running around in your team, I reckon you're fairly right on to win a final. And that's exactly what Rangers have got. They did really well. In the C2, Central Eyre United had another win there. They defeated Rangers 40 to 38, so they were pretty happy with that. In the C grade, Central Eyre United 45 defeated the Rangers 44, so another very, very close one. And look, to be in the A, I think we did say that we thought it would go this way. Kimber 45 in the B grade defeated Rangers 21, and they just continue their dominance. Kimber do in the B grade. They have been extremely dominant there all year. But in the A grade, Kimber 47 defeated Rangers 33. Now, you're the stats man, as you have proved time and time again. But I've got a feeling that would be one of the largest differences between these two teams in a final for a long time.
Well, I haven't seen a margin like this between these two sides.
No,
I'd go as far as to say ever.
Well, it would be a very long time, I would think. And look, Kimber were just too strong on the day. They got off to a really good start. Jess Clements, Lucy Klingberg, they were just very accurate in goals in what was quite windy and wet conditions by the time the A grade played. And Jordan Hooper and Aaron Roberts just could not get anywhere near them. They just couldn't curtail their dominance. Geordie McCullum just shut down Kate Flint. Now, I never say this right, I know, but Kate Semelick, I think it is, she shut her down, and that really did affect the Rangers girls. Charlie Harris and Amber Pengelly were able to get on top of Nick and Lauren Symes, and that was really the story of the day. Kimber were just too strong, and they will be going in red-hot favourites to the grand final.
They certainly will. Who will they be playing, though? We'll get to that in a moment. And
we will.
Got to point out, too, as we move on to what happened on the Sunday, Central Eyre United from our Flow Network area, 3 teams already into the grand finals in their first season in Eastern Eyre Netball. So that's fantastic for them. They're 3 winners, won by a collective of 5 goals. So I don't think there'd be too many fingernails left around Woodner and Kyne-Cutter.
No, I don't think so. But, well done to them. Again, a great effort to throw at such a late stage, 2 clubs together, come up with a whole brand new club and achieve that has been an amazing effort by all of those people involved there, and congratulations to them.
Here, and they've got a chance to get a couple more in this weekend, which we'll get to that soon. So, but we have to go back to what happened on Sunday at Woodner. It was medal count day. Now, this time not the juniors for Eastern Eyre. It was the senior medal count. And you've got the details for us as to who won what.
Yeah, I do. And as usual, a awesome Eyre dinner, lots of dressing up done and lots of frivolity.
I saw lots of Smurfs getting around, Joe.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Rangers were Smurfs. I think the theme was your op shop in your team colours.
Okay.
So there's some interesting things there. And Central Eyre United, their first year in, and they hosted it. And I don't actually think they realised just what an Eyre dinner is about at first. But they've certainly been initiated into that. They did start the day with the new grade, the C3 medal, and the runner-up there was Joe Turner, who has also been a Tribune medalist, and the winner there was Deb Tahini. So well done to both from Eastern Rangers. In the C2, the runner-up was Kelsey Masters from Ports. There were joint winners, Holly Big and Ellie Shingenga, both from Eastern Rangers. The Joe Franklin C-grade medal, the runner-up there was Serena King from Kimber, and the winner there was Letitia Sturtley from Kimber as well. The Barb Mason B-grade medal, the runner-up there was DJ Kemp from Kimber, and the winner there was Ellen Zabel from Kimber. So as you can see, Kimber have done fairly well.
Yeah.
In the under 21, the Mandy Symes under 21, we actually had a four-way tie there.
Oh wow!
Ruby Green from Ports, Rani Tomney from Central Eyre United, and then very fittingly Nicole and Lauren Symes, Mandy's daughters, were the other two in that four. So congratulations to those four girls. And the Tribune medal, the runner-up there was Jordan Hooper in her first season with Eastern Rangers, and the winner there from Kimber was Jess Clements, their goaler. So, yeah, well done to all of those ladies.
Yes, indeed. Jess is a star. Oh, they're all stars. Well done to them.
Yeah.
Yep, and I think they can now look forward to the rest of the finals series and get the real medals in a couple of weeks' time. But
exactly.
To do that, they're going to have to get through, or some of these teams are going to have to get through this weekend at Cow. Preliminary final weekend. And, Joe, you've played enough netball and enough sport now to know that there is nothing worse, in my opinion, in sport than losing a preliminary final.
No.
No worse feeling walking off any field on a prelim final when you haven't got the job done. So there'll be desperation everywhere this weekend.
There will be, and Cal under strict COVID protocol as well. They would like people to know for both football and netball. We have so far, and let's not speak too soon, dodged a bit of a bullet over this way.
Yeah.
And so we are allowed to play, but the SANFL and netball, they've certainly put down some very strict COVID rules, which, I'm sure everybody will follow to make sure that everybody's kept safe. So just a reminder about masks. Please make sure that you have them when you're walking around and all those sorts of things happening, and that you use good hygiene. So that's just a message from the Cow Club. But, preliminary finals are there. The E2s, Central Eyre United, who we said, had teams last week, and they've got them again this week. Central Eyre United take on Ports, and that's at 10:45. Remember, the Eastern Eyre's times are all over the place.
Yes, they are.
Don't just follow through. E-grade at 9:30. Central Eyre United will take on Ports. The D-grade, Eastern Rangers will take on Ports at 11 a.m. At 12:15, it's the C2s, Eastern Rangers taking on Cow. At 12:30, it's the B grade, and Eastern Rangers are taking on Central Eyre United, and that could be a very interesting game. Would not be counting Central Eyre United out of this game at all, even though Eastern Rangers probably have had the wood over them. They're back to what they would call full strength because they're A grade are at full strength. So Rangers might not have met them with that with their full team, so that could be quite interesting there. At 1:30, the C3, Kimber take on Ports. Would think Kimber there. At 1:45 in the C grade, Eastern Rangers take on Kimber, and then at 3 o'clock, as they do, a bit of a standalone. Eastern Rangers take on Central Eyre United. Now, Rangers will want to come back from last week, that is for sure. And Central Eyre United will be wanting to continue their winning form, and both teams are at full strength. So Lauren Symes will match up with Keely Bruce. So height for height, they probably match each other in there, which could be very, very interesting. Nick Symes, Kylie Scholes, or it could even be Hayley Jericho will. That could be even more interesting. Nick Symes, not a lot of A-grade experience and a young player, and trying to work her way to get her side across the line. That could be a tough task. Eastern Rangers through the centre court with Kate Semlick, Nia Gillings and Tessa Dunn. Look, that's quite strong and it's quite quick. But then sort of look at the fact that Mel Skinner and Reagan O'Brien are through the middle with Central Eyre United, so some good matchups through there. Look, and young Rani Tomney won the under-21 medal in goals for Central Eyre United. Jess Sampson, Abby Bruce will definitely be in the goals for them. So Jordan Hooper and Aaron Robert again are going to have their time cut out to stop those goalers. So yeah, very interesting game. Look, Central Eyre United certainly will give it everything they've got. So will Eastern Rangers. I just think maybe Rangers in the end, but I think it's going to be very, very close.
Well, they'll be grumpy after getting, basically flogged last week by Kimber. I think it's not a stretch to say that, but Central Eyre United, not much to lose against a team which is struggling and through no fault of its own, has had some pretty serious injuries this year. I mean, gee whiz, they've almost got the old-fashioned free kick, haven't they, Central Eyre?
Yeah, they have, and if they were going to beat this side, then this is the time that they need to take full advantage of it. There's no question about that, and I'm sure that they will. I just sort of think that, look, Jordan Hooper, she is a fantastic defender for Eastern Rangers, and I really think that she will really step up this week. I think that was really disappointed after last week, her and Lauren Symes. So I really think those two will really step up this week, and that could mean a little bit of damage to Central Eyre United.
All right. Well, it's going to be a cracking weekend of matches. It's Saturday at Cal. Get there and follow the COVID protocols. If you're asked to do something, just do it. I know it's not their COVID marshal's fault that the rules are what they are. So just do what you're asked to do and make life easy for everyone. That's the bottom line, Joe.
Absolutely, and especially afterwards, because after the A-grade footy, they are going to be doing their junior count. Right. So, there will be a few people around after the game. So, if you can do the right thing, that would be fantastic, and we'll be able to give some junior medal winners next week. And I don't know, Jace, other than that, there's Port Lincoln have had their finals.
Yes.
Last week we had the first and second semi-finals, and I'll start by saying that my 15 Div 1s went straight through to the grand final. So what's that? 9 years, 7 grand finals. Let's hope I get one with juniors. But anyway, in the A grade, in the reserves, a big upset there. Waybacks in the first semi-final were able to come from only having 2-3 wins for the whole season to win the first semi to beat Boston's and go into a prelim. So that was a big win for them. In the other game, Winilla Rangers were able to defeat Imperials, so they'll go straight through to the A1 Resi Grand Final. In the A1s, Winilla were beat Waybacks by 10 goals. So they go straight into the grand final, and the girls, that Winilla were very, very good. Waybacks very flat. Have the gastro's been going around here, Jay. They didn't even train last Wednesday night. No excuse, but they were pretty flat. In the other game, an upset. Not, of course, if you're talking to Imperials, because we know what they are like in finals. But yeah, they knocked off Boston's in the first semi-final, and so it will be them playing Waybacks in the prelim final tomorrow. And they also had the times medal last Saturday night, and yet again, Brooke Moore from Waybacks took out her second times medal, so well done to her. And the runner-up was Jess Nielsen from Winilla.
Excellent.
Best under 21 was Greta Kennedy from Boston's.
Okay. That's a full wrap on what's going on across the EP at the moment. So we'll check in again next week, Joe, and have a look at all of that and more and see where we're at. We'll have our first bunch of grand finalists to talk about next week. Looking forward to that. So we'll catch up with you again next week.
Certainly will, Jace. You take care.